Hey everybody, this is Nat C. Jones here. I am so glad that you visited my channel. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Today I want to talk about attraction. Bow chicka wow wow. Y'all remember that? What was that? Was that the Axe commercial? The bow chicka wow wow. Relationships. We are in the holiday season. They call it cuffing season. And this is the time where people want to get booed up. This is the time where sometimes singles get lonely if they don't have someone right now. And you kind of start to reflect on your dating history. What has been going on with your dating history? Who have you been attracting is the question that I'm asking today. If it seems like you've been attracting the same kind of, and I'll just say, I'm talking to women, but this goes for men as well. But if you've been attracting the same kind of man over and over, or the same kind of woman over and over and over again, don't become bitter. Don't become a victim. You have to accept the role that you played in attracting those people into your life. Don't kill me. I feel the darts coming. No. I know they may have done you wrong. I know you feel like there are no good ones out there because you keep experiencing the same foolery over and over again. But I'm telling you, in order to stand in your power, you have to take accountability. You have to take responsibility for where you are right now. You are not a victim. I say it again. You are not a victim. Sometimes there are decisions that you have made that have created the situation that you are experiencing. You are not a victim. And even if you didn't ask for a situation, there's always a decision to be made to leave a situation or continue to stay in the situation. You are not a victim. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Now, do you have the guts to make that decision? Maybe you're scared. Maybe you feel like there's nothing else out there. That's still a choice. You're choosing to believe that there's nothing else out there. You are not a victim. You're making choices, and your choices are bringing certain things into your life. I'm talking about choices from the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you present yourself, who you allow in your space. These are all choices that you make every day to pick up the phone or to let it slide. Just let it ring. You are not a victim. You have to decide to stand in your power and understand the power that you have to create the life that you want. You are not a victim. Some people have been even in abusive relationships, and I have experience in an abusive relationship. And a lot of people say, well, they stay because they're afraid to leave. It sounds so harsh, but choosing to stay in an abusive relationship is a choice. There are other people who choose to take the risk and leave. Even though it's a dangerous decision, it's still a decision. You are not a victim unless you decide to be, unless you choose to sit in that victimhood. You can decide to do what's scary and not be a victim. So, I was having a conversation with a good old friend of mine who, for whatever reason, always chooses to lead with her sexuality. She's very overtly sexual. She says things that makes me go, ooh. And then when they come to her for only sex, she gets upset. And I have been telling her for years, you're leading with your vagina. So that's what men are coming to you for. They don't want anything else. You can't lead with your vagina and then turn around and be like, hey, do you want to be in love with me too and see me as a human being? They don't. They won't. Don't lead with your vagina. Don't do that. Now, every woman has one, and that's great, and men want sex, yes. So you don't have to be overtly sexual. That's a given. They want it, you got it. Okay, cool. What else do you have? If you don't know what else you have besides sex, you need to do work on yourself until you can find your value. I remember a friend telling me that she basically just would have sex with men just so she could get attention. She didn't get anything out of the sex, but she got her a good 10, 15 minutes of attention. And I was like, that's a high price to pay for some attention. You have to 100% value yourself, and you have to know what value you bring into the world outside of superficial things like sex and looks. If you don't know what value you have outside of those things, do the work. Please do the work. Don't try to trick a man or a woman into believing that you have value that you don't really have. Find the value, do the personal work, develop yourself, and then present yourself out there in the world fully confident. Listen, what are you using to attract these people that you've been having relationships with? The world is like a giant ocean. The dating world is like a giant ocean. It's full of all different types of fish. And the kind of fish that you catch depends on what you put on that hook. What is on your hook? What is on your hook? This works also for business. If you're trying to attract something, what are you putting on the hook? You have to know what that something likes to eat. Okay? I used to tell people when I was a business consultant not to market their business the way they would like to receive it. Like, this is not your MySpace page. This is not a personal ad. You're trying to attract customers with money, so you need to put messages out there that attract people with money. I don't care what your favorite color is or what you like. It's not about you. It's about the person you're trying to attract. I like crab legs, okay? But if I want to catch a dolphin, or if I want to catch, I don't know nothing about fish. If I want to catch a clownfish, I'm not putting a crab leg on the hook just because I like crab legs. It's not about me. It's about who I'm trying to catch. I had a conversation with some single women one time, and they were just bashing men, talking about, these men are broke and they don't have it together and da. And, I want this and I want that. And I said, okay, so how are you doing financially? Well, I'm working on it, I said, well, what's your credit? Because everything they were saying they wanted from these men, they didn't even have it. I said, don't you live with your auntie? And you want a man with a house? Like, what is it that you think that men like that are looking for? Do you know? Because if you know, just be that, and then you'll have it. A good way to find out. First of all, be honest about what you want. So you know what kind of man you want. Okay, cool. Finding out what that kind of man wants. Do some research. And then see, am I really what this kind of man would want? And if the answer is no, then you may now realize why you're attracting a certain kind of man over and over and over again. I have a friend, I was an old friend, who just continued to meet guys who didn't have jobs or cars. And she was like, I don't know why I keep meeting the same kind of guy. I said, well, where are you meeting them? At gas stations. I don't know why they had a gas station when they don't have a car. I guess they're going to pick up some snacks. But when you look at the way she dressed, the way she spoke, how she carried herself, I could not see a man that has class being attracted to her, even though she's got beautiful facial features. She has a nice body, beautiful skin. But as soon as she opens her mouth, you go, ew. I can't see a man with an education or a man who's looking for a woman to take home to his mom being attracted to that. It's more than your body. It's more than the makeup and hair you put on. It's what's inside. Quality men are looking for a woman that they can introduce to their family, a woman that they would not mind representing them out there in the world. He should proudly be able to say, yes, that's my woman, that's my wife, that's my girl. If you make him ashamed, he's not going to do that. So think about that. Think about the way you talk. Think about, do I have enough interesting things to talk about? Or am I only talking about things that I saw on reality TV? What do the kind of men that you say you want, what are they attracted to? And are you putting the right bait out there? If they're not attracted to what you're putting out there, you need to go back to the bait shop. And you need to possibly even fish in different waters. You might be going to places where the men that you are interested in don't even go there. You know? Maybe you do need to visit a church. Maybe you need to go to some business conferences. Maybe you need to go places where men like that go instead of where you've been going. Here's another thing. When you're making the transition and you're aiming for a better kind of man, sometimes you're going to have to learn to turn down some frogs. See, people say you got to kiss a few frogs before you get to a prince. I disagree. You keep kissing frogs, you can get warts on your lips. Don't kiss frogs. You got to turn down some frogs to get to a prince. So that means I have a lot of friends. I had a conversation with another female friend of mine, and a lot of women do this. Well, I'm just dating this guy until I meet somebody I really like. I know this is what we do. I know. Don't do it. Don't just date people in the meantime because you're lonely. You can talk on the phone with people, you can hang out with people, but they need to know we're not dating, because it's a false belief when you think that you're not a lot. How can I say this? Anytime someone is getting a significant amount of your time, but you're not serious about them and you don't really want a relationship with them, they are taking up space. And you're thinking that when the right man comes along that you're going to notice it. You're not going to notice it because you're distracted and you look like you're in a relationship. So they're going to assume you're in a relationship. You need to look available. You don't look available when you're hanging out with somebody and they're getting boyfriend time. I hope that makes sense. You have to learn how to be alone. Learn how to go places alone. Learn how to do things alone. Alone is not a bad word. Because when people are looking for partners, they're looking for someone who's not in a relationship, someone who is alone. Stop thinking that that's bad. But if every time they see you, you're with a different person or you always got a man around you, they're going to assume that you're not single. They're going to assume you're not available. But in your mind, you're telling yourself, I'm just doing this just in case. I'm just doing this to pass the time. You're not just passing the time, but you causing that man that's for you to pass you because you look like you're occupied. When I come into a bathroom, I don't knock and push on every door. I look underneath to see if I see feet. And if I see feet or anything that looks like someone's in there, I'm not even going to knock on the door. Does it look like you have feet under the stall? Do you look occupied? Because you just don't want to be alone, so you just entertaining different men for no reason, passing your cookies around, maybe, maybe not. But not just your cookies, your time. You're going to have to turn down some men in order to meet the right guy. If you know what you want and you know that person's not it, don't waste your time. First of all, it's mean to do that. And I've done that in the past and I had to repent. It's mean to lead a man on and make him feel like it's a possibility you guys could be together when you know you don't really want him, just because you don't want to be alone and you don't want to pay for lunch and dinner. That's wrong. And then when the next person comes along, you drop them. That's wrong. I know men do it too. It's wrong when they do it too. Don't say, well, men do it, I can do it too. No, they trifling, you trifling. Don't do that. That's wrong. You putting bad energy out there because you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you, just lead you along until they find somebody else. That's wrong. Call a spade. It's wrong. I know someone who was dating somebody and then they went on a date on Tuesday, and then that same week, Saturday, he made an announcement that he had just gotten married on social media. And it's like, now you knew doggone well you've been seeing this woman this whole time and you talking to me like you like me. That doesn't feel good. You don't want. I know people encourage for us to do that. You don't have to do that. You can have friends, but make it clear. You're not my type. I don't think we're compatible in that way. We can hang out, we can be cool, but I want to make it clear I have no romantic interest in you. And if that's all that you're looking for, then we don't need to be talking. Like, let's not even play games. Some people's feelings may get hurt, but most people will be grateful that you were honest with them so they didn't waste their time and money on you. It's the right thing to do. When you're looking for relationships, put the right energy out there. Do the right thing even if it's not popular. Just be honest. This is not going to work. This is not for me, right? So you got to put the right stuff on the hook, and you have to make sure that if something bites that hook that you didn't want to catch, throw it back. Have you ever been fishing? Throw it back. If you pull up a soda can or a tire or some seaweed and you were looking for a lionfish, throw it back. Don't put it in your basket and say, well, at least I got something. That's not what you wanted. You don't want to eat no seaweed. You want some fish, right? And I don't even think you can eat a lionfish. That was probably a bad example. But anyway, you get the point. Y'all, be honest with yourself. One of the things that has become a strong suit of mine, and what I'm known for, is being honest and being real and being non-judgmental. That's me. I'm honest, I'm real, I'm non-judgmental. And if you don't like what I tell you, you don't need to be around me, because I promise I'm not going to change it until I realize that I'm wrong. But be real. Be real with yourself about what you really want, and be real with the people who are entering your space about whether you believe it's really going to work or not. And don't play with your time and don't play with theirs. You feel like it's not going to work, let it go. Don't be afraid. You will meet somebody else. There are billions of people in the world. You will meet someone else. Don't be desperate. Don't waste their time, and don't waste your time. Okay? Believe in love. It can happen for you, but you have to put the right bait on the hook. Always be willing to do some self-work, personal development. You should constantly be growing as a person, which means the older you get, the better you get. Don't decline. Always advance. I hope this video was inspirational to you. I hope it gave you some hope that there's love out there for you, and that you can actually have some power and some control over what kind of experience you're having when it comes to love relationships. Don't make excuses. Look yourself in the face, in that mirror. Hold yourself accountable. Be responsible for the experiences that you're having and the kind of life that you're living. And eventually, you will have what you want. Have a great day, you guys. See you next time. Bye.